Hello everyone, my name is Ashwin. I'm from Google Research Mountain View, and today I'll be talking about modeling labels for conversion value prediction. Let me define the problem. Let's say there is a user who's in a vacation booking mode. User issues a search query, then user clicks on an ad. Then user does some kind of activity A1 on advertiser website, and then follow up with an activity A2 on advertiser website. So here user does activities A1, A2 through AN with values L1, L2 through LN on advertiser's website. AI could be like a purchase, while LI could be dollar spent. AI could be visit, while LI could be some amount of time spent on advertiser website. Or AI could be an email sign up with LI being long-term value estimation. Now, the goal for the advertiser is to optimize total value of all events. L is equal to summation LI. The way this is done in performance-based advertising is to train a supervised machine learning model to predict expected total value given a click. And then we bid a bid which is proportional to expected total value given a click. There are several challenges here. The first challenge is that different advertisers could report label in different scale. For example, someone might report time spent while someone else might report dollar spent. And these are not really comparable in scale across each other. Someone might report in dollars while someone else might report in a different currency. For this reason, while different labels for a given advertisers are comparable, they are not really comparable across different advertisers. The second challenge is that you might end up overfitting to outliers. While most of the labels are in a very nice range, once in a while you might get outliers because of which you might end up overfitting to them. Finally, the model to predict expected total value given a click predicts mean of the distribution and neglects information in the complete distribution. Now, before I go into the solutions for these challenges that we have, let me give a minor overview of existing literature. So there is a very nice literature on proper scoring rules and what kind of loss functions give you unbiased estimators. And these are a large class of functions. Uh, for us, we will mostly follow Poisson regression, but our results should hold for many other forms of regressions like linear regression. There's another literature survey by Lugosi and Mendelssohn on mean estimation with heavy tail distribution. A very interesting technique there is the median of means technique. We also have using information in the distribution of the label. Here we have zero inflated Poisson regression to handle zero inflation. And finally, there is a nice paper by Vasily et al. On allocating model capacity to optimize for final business metric. Here, it's more or less reweighting the set of examples. Let's look at how we handle label scale. Our solution is label normalization. So what is the vanilla thing that we could do? We could just predict whatever the label is given to us directly. Here, the gradient is proportional to prediction minus label. Or we could normalize the label with a per advertiser mean. So here, the denominator that we divide the label is expected per advertiser mean. Now, the gradient is roughly prediction minus the normalized label. An alternative thing you could also try is you could predict the label itself, but then reweight the loss function with 1 over per advertiser mean. Here, gradient is roughly prediction minus L divided by per advertiser mean. We see that the third model is very hard to train and it's numerically unstable. It blows up when the prediction is constant and the per advertiser mean is very small. So we will be mostly focusing on the first two models. So when we look at the results for these two models, we look at the relative value of negative log likelihood. And as expected, the model which is trained against the actual label performs better when you compare negative log likelihood against the label. But the model which is trained against the normalized label does significantly better when you compare negative log likelihood against the normalized label. So what we see also, if you look at bias of different advertisers is, let's look at the per advertiser mean, bucketize it according to increasing values, and look at bias in each of these buckets. As we see, when the per advertiser mean is a very large value, like let's say bucket 6, both models are more or less calibrated. But when you look at advertisers who have very small per advertiser mean, the model which trains against normalized label tends to do reasonably well, while the models which train against the label tend to overpredict a lot. This clearly shows that normalizing with per advertiser mean is a very good idea. Next, I will move on to how do we learn different properties of the distribution via multitask learning. And for remaining part of the talk, I'll mostly focus on training against normalized label. The first thing we'll talk about is how do you handle outliers. We see that most normalized labels are between 0 and 10, but there is a small fraction which might be much larger due to outliers. This can cause overfitting because gradient is proportional to prediction minus normalized label. So when the normalized label is very large, gradient is large, which results in overfitting. So for this, what we do is we just add an extra head, which is capped at, let's say, a small number like 10, and downweight the actual loss function for the uncapped head or the head which is capped at a much larger number, and use the uncapped head at serving. So when the labels are between 0 and 10, both of these heads don't overfit. But let's say if there is an example which has a very large value, let's say 500, because of downweighting the loss function 10x, you don't tend to overfit with the uncapped head. So the next idea is how do you handle zero inflation? So a very large number of clicks have value 0, let's say 90% of them. One way to handle or one way you can get better accuracy is to use zero inflated Poisson regression. But what we will see is that we have a different solution, which is we just add a separate head to predict label greater than 0. It's a logistic regression head. And we see that this tends to do even better. So here we just add a L greater than 0. Note that this extra head is only used in training only, just like the previous idea. And it's thrown away at serving time. Finally, we want to look at how do you learn not just from the mean of the distribution, but how do you learn from the distribution of label itself. So regression predicts the mean of the distribution condition on covariates, but there is information in the entire distribution of label itself. Our solution is to add a softmax head. So what we do is we take the normalized label, we bucketize it into quantiles, and then we add a softmax head to predict which quantile does it fall on. So we just add a separate head, and it's also used only in training. So let's see what happens when we combine all these ideas. So we will have 4 different heads. The one which is used for serving, the original head, and it's downweighted by, its loss function is downweighted by 10x. Then you have one head for a sigmoid head for predicting L greater than 0, one head for softmax over the bucketized label, and one head which is a capped label. And then these 3 heads are used only in training and not used in serving. Let's look at the experiments for the different ideas that we propose. We have one model which is a baseline model, which is trains on the normalized label with no extra heads. We have a full model which trains on all the extra heads. Then we have a bunch of ablation studies where we remove one head at a time. So we have one model which does not have L greater than 0 head, which is FP, one model which doesn't have the softmax head, one model which doesn't have the capped head but weights the original head with 1x, and one more model which doesn't have the capped head but downweights the original head by 10x. We have one model which has a zero inflated Poisson regression model, and finally we also have a median of means. When we train all of these models, we see that our results are much more superior, and we get the best improvement in negative log likelihood with respect to the normalized label. We also see that we get even better improvement when the advertisers tend to have more outliers. So these are all the ideas and results in this paper. I'm happy to take question and answers during the session itself. Thank you.